Welcome to Port Credit, Ontario, on the north side of Lake Ontario in Canada. In this episode, we'll be talking about the top 3 questions we get asked about wintering aboard. This is our home, SV Northern Reach, a 1983 Whitby 42, where we'll be spending the winter.
Italia, what is it like living?
Canada is a pretty cold country. How are you keeping warm on that boat?
Doesn't the marina freeze over?
What am I curious about? I want to know how you get fresh water onto your boat.
Some people choose not to have running water. We cook way too much. One of my prerequisites to moving aboard was to be able to shower in the boat. Call me high maintenance, but I don't want to walk 100 to 200 meters to the washroom to have a shower up there and then walk back with wet hair and all of that. That's just not.
Some boats have a water filtration system aboard that allows them to bring on their own water. Other places will run a water hose under the ice that will prevent it from freezing and allow them to bring in water anytime during the winter. But at our marina, we have to run about 500 feet of hose from our main marina building all the way out to our boat and fill it every 2 or 3 weeks.
It is snowing and raining at the same time. Actually, it looks like mostly rain now. I've got the hose out and we're gonna fill the tanks. It's all part of the winter live aboard experience. I was just telling one of our neighbors, like, where's the kid who's looking to make $20 to bring the hose out to your boat and fill your tanks? But that's not how live aboard works. You gotta do the work yourself. So I've got, 500 feet of hose out here. I'm going to connect our hose to it and start filling the tanks. It's pretty gnarly wet out here. It's right around 0 Celsius. But anyways. I'm rushing around, I'm a little out of breath. Tell you that the exercise has not been top of mind with this move. Here is our measure stick. So, pop that in the vent hole, and we'll check it for moisture and we'll be able to see when it gets full. So we can see there we've got about 1.25 inches done. We're getting there, about halfway, I'd say. Almost there. We have a total of 1,100 liters on board, about 290 gallons, split between 3 tanks, starboard, port, and forward. This gives us about 17 days worth of water. That's water for having long, hot showers, cooking, doing the dishes, and even filtered drinking water too. Not flushing the toilets though. That's done with raw lake water, stored in a holding tank, and then pumped out by a septic truck once every 2 weeks.
How do you deal with snow and ice on the boat over the wintertime?
got the shrinking done today, and so everything kind of feels like it's...
Yeah, it feels like things are settling a bit.
We're
and
catching
that
up.
We're not in a sort of pure state of chaos. I mean, we're still in a state of chaos, but we're like, it's less chaotic. It's sort of like, you know, maybe like a couple of hours after the asteroid killed all the dinosaurs, you know? And yeah.
Oh, it feels good. It feels great.
All the animals that are still left are like, huh, there's no more dinosaurs. This is okay. Yeah. So this is super tight, and it's hopefully not going to flap in the wind anymore. But yeah, a lot of work overall. So today was really like we hadn't done the roof the last time. We were facing a pretty rough storm that was incoming. And so we ended up tightening up the roof today and just, you know, smoothing out some of the sides. And
oh man, you did such a good job. It's so good. I still have to patch the holes got bigger around the stays as you shrink it. So we're gonna put a little tape there. I'm gonna put in some windows.
All right.
Sweet. It's quite crazy, babe. The two lines we have on this side, because they get loose and like kind of hang in the water, they've got icicles on them.
Oh yeah, I see that. So we just got our first major snow of the season. Talia's at work. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm about to head out. Should be a joyful and pleasant experience on the dock this morning. As you can see, looks to be a little bit iced up. Here she is, in her white snowy splendor, and heading off to work. Here's a view of what I have to contend with.
Our friends on this powerboat covered their windows in vinyl. These people up ahead, they used a winter canvas cover. We chose clear shrink wrap. This not only adds an extra layer of insulation, but it also has a greenhouse effect. So as the sun comes out, even on a really cold day, the cockpit just warms right up. Talking t-shirts, pina coladas. It's glorious. A whole extra room added to our living space.
How does the ice not crush your hull?
Saturday morning, I'm pouring myself a coffee. The temperature inside the boat is a lovely 19.9 degrees, but the story outside is not so nice. It is currently in the minuses, which means the water outside is freezing, or at least starting to freeze. There's an ice sheet that is forming on the outside of the boat, and so we're gonna go resolve this. But first, coffee. Step out onto the dock, make sure we don't die from slipping. So, come around. Wow, what a beautiful sunrise. And look at what we find in the water. Looks like ice. And so it begins the great fight against the ice.
Michelle is setting up ice heaters, aka dock bubblers. They're basically a prop inside a housing. They help draw the warmer water at the bottom of the lake up near the surface and keep the water moving so it doesn't freeze.
Here we go. Alright, so I think this is generating actually a little bit too much thrust, a little bit too close. So I think what we're going to do is, unfortunately, we're going to have to take these lines, move them all the way back here. Alright, so I think this is just about right. We've got a little bit of circulation there. And I'll go around to the other side and see if the same thing is happening on the other side. Yeah, and it looks like we've got a bit of circulation out that way. I think it could probably be a little bit shallower. And what I found is it's actually circulating water a little bit too far rear. So we're going to try moving this D-ring 2 holes up and see if that points the ice eater up a little bit. Alright, that seems much better. Alright, number 2's in the water and looks to be doing its job properly. So hopefully that should prevent ice from forming around the boat.
It's another way to bubble your boat. Use the dinghy and smash it up. We certainly do not recommend this. Though another good way is to use a compressor and blow bubbles to keep ice from forming. Or if you have a steel hull, you can freeze into position like our friends here on Hey Hey.
So I've turned one bubbler on. We started getting some ice last night. It's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that the bubbler is working. And with one of them on, we're pushing the ice sheet from sort of alongside the boat. You can actually see it under there, and it's starting to melt away as the hot water comes up from the bottom. The ice sheet's actually climbing on top of the other ice sheet, so this is a good sign. Pushing things away from the boat gives me confidence that it will work.
How cold is it when if you're in the winter?
So I'm currently at the power panel, and one of the things we have to be really conscious of on the boat is our power usage. We have 2 30-amp circuits from the dock, and those are split into 4 15-amp circuits. So if you take into consideration that your typical house has 200 amps of service, we're running significantly less power. And with that, we have to also run our ice eaters. So every time we turn anything on the boat, we come over here and we check the power consumption. And that's something that's really important for us.
We use a combination of 3 main electric ceramic heaters, the cheap analog kind, not the digital kind. That way if we do lose power, they'll come back on automatically. We have a few smaller heaters like in bathrooms and bilges, and then we have our Espar diesel furnace, which is old and curmudgeon-y. So basically we'll use the electric heaters as our main source and the diesel furnace as a backup. We're just hoping that we don't lose electricity and the diesel heater at the same time in the dead of winter.
We turned the temperature up because it's a bit cold on the boat. We immediately got a fault and the boat started filling with exhaust fumes, so.
I found the problem, babe. The exhaust just blew open. There's a big hole in it.
The bubbler, which is currently sitting under the boat, which keeps the ice from freezing, is not on. I kept it off last night, even though it was going to be very cold. Primarily because I wanted to get some extra heat in the boat. It helped a lot. We kept the boat at 21 degrees overnight, Celsius. When outside, it is currently minus 14. So that's helping a lot. The sun, as it comes up, will also help tremendously. I got up this morning, it was minus 2 in the cockpit. So keep in mind, minus 14 outside, minus 2 in the cockpit. It is currently 5.3 degrees, but we should be getting some relief in a very short while because I'm being treated to the most amazing sunrise this morning. And they are different every day. And so the quality of the sunrise is something that I've really appreciated. Just going to point the camera outside, and what you can see outside is that there is a lot of ice forming, because I've turned the heaters down so that we can turn the bubbler on. We have a limited amount of power. All right, here we are at the door to the boat. Let's see as we go outside if there is ice around the boat. Oh, you can hear that ice cracking, right? All right. So what we find here is that there is a little bit of ice around the boat. As we walk around, you see that what we don't want. See, there's luckily a little bit of a line here around the boat where it's not frozen. We ran the bubblers all day yesterday, so it doesn't look like we're dealing with too much ice today. It actually looks a little bit slushy. Oh, yeah, there you go. So there's your ice sheet. That should be taken care of by the bubbler pretty quickly. And if we turn to the other side of the boat, you can see the ice is getting much thicker. I can't even break through that, so. Here we go, melting the ice away. We should see the same thing start to happen on this side.
Thanks for watching. You might want to subscribe if you want to see us experience the true depths of winter. That'll be next time on Towards the Adventure.